We're seeing straight across. Action! I wanted to get it right. I had to get help because I don't know. I mean, I have to turn around to somebody and say, what does she call this guy? Does she say, hey, Joe, or does she say, Your Highness, or Your Lordship, or what? So, and I wanted all that to be correct. Action!
Bob feels, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. And let's see what we feel about this way of life by showing this way of life.
I suppose they complain. Oh, true, exactly.
We had a butler, a maid, housemaid, and a cook that had all been in service at the time this picture was made. They're all in their 80s now.
I was able to find, our butler, Arthur Wrench, our cook, Ruth Mott, and our housemaid, parlourmaid, Violet Little. And they all started in service somewhere between 1931 and 1936.
I'm Arthur Richard Inch. I was born the 5th of October, 1915. My father was a butler, and my mother had been a housemaid.
Well, I don't ever call myself a professional. I call myself just somebody who likes to cook. And I've always liked cooking, and I went into the kitchens at about 14.
I was house parlourmaid. That meant a lot of work because the vegetables were all done very nicely and attractively, and they didn't have all the modern gadgets you've got now.
I need all the knives there, all the knives.
This condition came out of a social structure, phenomena, that is uniquely English.
I grew up in private service, as it were, so at the age of 15 I was able to say these immortal words, dinner is served, madam.
I prefer to just help in the kitchen side of it, whereby I think I know that pretty well, or I think I do. Can I just go and show them what I want to do with the ice? As to what instruments and things you can use and how you make ice cream, which you're going to try and do today, I think. And you're beating too fast. You've gone past mayonnaise stage now, anyhow.
I am advising all the men servants as how they should behave and what they should do, and iron out any details they might get wrong.
Well, Mr. Inch is, one we all bow before him because, he really is the absolute, the genuine article, and he knows the job down to its finest detail.
Alan Bates hung on to Arthur Inch like a life raft. He was at him all the time. He wanted to get the exterior right.
For instance, telling Mr. Jennings that he was the head of the household and he had to be authoritative.
May I ask what is going on? George, will you please join me in the drawing room as soon as possible? Mr. Robert, will you kindly take everybody back downstairs?
Certainly.
Dorothy, I'm especially surprised at you.
Come along, ladies.
Whenever there's anything that requires any kind of special knowledge, he's on the set, and he's standing behind everyone who has something particular to do, especially me.
And action!
I think the only surprising thing is just how particular it is. You cannot disobey any rules, where people sit, how you address them.
Yeah, we know the very idea of service is offensive to you, George. But there's no need to take it out on the rest of us.
And then Sir Derek Jacobi telling him how to do the valeting and things like that.
Anything you ask him about what you would do, how you would be dressed, for instance, all of that, he's very useful.
Also telling the footmen what they should be doing, how they should be dressed. Because at one period they had a photograph of the footman with a black bow tie. Well, a liveried footman never wore a black bow tie. It was always a white one all day long while he was in livery.
Cut! Turn over. We gave all these actors access to these people so that they knew that as far as they wanted to go into the research, they could go. But they weren't forced to go into it. And try to look around down there where it was.
Luckily, it's still within living memory, so that's incredibly valuable.
I did meet with the actresses and they're very enthusiastic about how things were done, and it's been a great privilege to be involved, I must say.
The girls will ask me anything if they're not sure. What sort of corsets should they wear? What sort of cap should they put on and that sort of thing. It's quite interesting what they think of to ask you.
Some more tea, Constable. Oh, I'll take that, thank you both. Huh?
Making sure of their attitude. Make sure that they know what they've got to do, you see, and they haven't got to be familiar with the gentry. When you're serving dinner, you serve with the left hand with the food, and some of them put their hands maybe on the chair. Well, that's all wrong. You've got to put your hand behind your back and serve the food.
Just to relieve everybody's egos, we were going to shoot this all from this side of the table. I was doing a scene where they were setting the table, and with the 15 knives and forks and spoons, and one of the actors picked up a fork and asked, what do they use this fork for? And he took it out of his hand and he went, spit on it, and then wiped it off with a napkin and put it down. And I told him to do that. I said, just spit on the fork and put it, I was over by the monitor when we shot the scene. Arthur was sitting next to me, and he saw that guy spit on that fork, and Arthur went, no, don't spit on the fork. That would never happen. I said, well, don't worry, I'll cut that out probably. I mean, he wanted everything to be as it should have been. I wanted everything to be as it might have been. But I could have the guy spit on the fork, but I wanted to be sure that it was the right fork in the right place. And I needed him to tell me that. Here comes information.
I've seen what they've done and it all looks fairly all right.
Excellent.
They've picked up on it very quick. Well, they're actors and they know what they should be doing after being told.
It's brought an entirely different light onto domestic service. I think it's very funny, and I say, if such a thing as reincarnation, I'm going upstairs because I'm going to give downstairs hell when I get up there.
Brought you some coffee.
If I wanted coffee, I'd have rum for it.
Because those that are upstairs are going to be down.
You shouldn't sneak up on people like that.
No, don't worry, it's nobody. Sorry, Mrs. Phillippe.
And I'm going to be the boss up top.
The dedication and the homework and their desire to get it true, I think is really marvellous.
All right, let's do it again.
It's just my life being redone. I mean, when I walked into it, it was just as though I was going back in time.